When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Let me get everybody else in here. Facebook Live and Periscope. How is everybody? All right. Hey, Chessie, how are you? Carmen, good to see you. Hopefully everybody's getting their notifications this morning. Good morning. Hey, DS. I'll just call you DS or D Sorrels. I don't know which is better. What would you like? Hey, Donna. How am I? I'm tired, Chessie. Just worn out, tell you the truth. Hey, Lynn. How is everybody? Hey, Angels. Cash Daddy, it looked like I saw. How is everybody? If you would, invite people. I'm going to cover up my fans overhead. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Lori. Good to see you. Thank you for inviting people so they can come in. I'm not sure how many people are actually getting notifications anymore. Still continuing to have problems with that. Hey, Judy. All right. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read you just a small little paragraph here for Proverbs 24 through 26. He who hates disguises it with his lips and lays up deceit within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. Hey, English, how are you? Hey, Collie, good to see you. Well. I was hoping more people would get in here quickly so we could talk about the breaking news. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, amen, no kidding. Hey, Jules, good morning. I don't know if you saw my Periscope that I did over the weekend, but if you haven't seen it, it's gotten about more than 1,000 views right now. Please see it. It's very important. I know. JD. Win for the Baker. Exactly. We might as well start talking about everybody is. Yes, there is an absolute win for the Colorado baker who refused to make a cake for the same-sex wedding of the gay couple. I love how the mainstream media is saying that it was, you didn't share it. Thank you, Alexis. It's frightful. Absolutely it is. I love how the mainstream media is saying in a narrow win. 7-2 is not a narrow win. I mean, I don't know by whose calculations that would be. Only the mainstream media would come up with that. I've been retweeting, sharing, and forwarding to all. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, and I'm hoping the baker can get his life back, can sue the state of Colorado and the commission and that violated his rights. And this ruling came down. The one who wrote the majority opinion was Justice Anthony Kennedy, who is basically has been for the last number of cases a very pro gay rights justice. So I think some people were thinking maybe he wouldn't do that, but he did that, which is a really good thing. He basically said, you can't go around violating somebody's rights who has a sincere religious belief. I think the dead mannequin, JD, and Sotomayor were the nay votes. Well, of course. A hockey game at 7-2 was not a close game. Nor is it for anybody in anything, Cully. It's just crazy. Hey, Junior, good morning. Hey, Daniel, I think I saw you come in. And Brandon, morning all. How are we doing? How's that, Gracie? Hey, Jill. Gracie is coming along. We know we got our fingers crossed. Continue to pray for us that everything works out. She has quite a few issues from having been astray for a while and been on her own and everything else. So we're trying to get everything worked out. Hey, Noelle. So pray that it all works out for our whole family, because I have, two other dogs that have to like her and get along with her. So far, so good. Hey, Jim. Fair is fair no matter what your freaking sexuality or gender or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is not an anti-gay ruling. This is basically a this is basically him saying, if somebody has, and you got to look at the wording. He says sincere religious beliefs motivating the objection. There again, this is, hey Gigi, this is one of those things where this is attorney speak. You've got to listen to exactly what he's saying. If somebody else who, let's say, is not a practicing Christian says, I don't want to bake you a cake and I don't have to because of this ruling, it's not going to work. It has to be somebody with a serious and sincere, a sincere is the word, religious beliefs that would say to them that I can't make a cake for a same-sex wedding. Hey, Dawn, good to see you. So that's going to be important. He said religious and philosophical objections to gay marriage are potential or protected views, in some instances protected forms of expression. So I think the court here did the absolute right thing. I feel sorry for this man who has suffered for 5 years, basically. That has, I don't know if he lost his business totally or just kept going, but financially, emotionally, he has been damaged. And I hope that he's going to be able to sue the Colorado Civil Rights Commission for making a wrong decision. I was almost turned away from a UPS place because they knew the person I was sending the package to. Well, that's kind of crazy. Chezzy, I don't understand that. He lost everything. That's what I thought, JD. I thought he did. I know the other couple did. I don't know where that, I can't remember the state that couple was in, but I know they lost everything for sure. But it's ridiculous. Losing your livelihood, or something like that. But government officials cannot use this. Judy says, I think he stopped making wedding cakes but stayed open. And that's a shame, Again, it's just ridiculous. Now, you could not use this and say, well, I'm not making a cake for you because you're African American. I hope people know, and I know you do, but I hope they know that that's not going to work. This is an issue regarding your religious freedom and your First Amendment rights. So that would not be a reason based on religion that you were denying somebody a cake. I thought they were from Portland, Oregon. Yeah, it may have been. Is it Millo? It may have been Portland, Oregon. He had death threats. I know, JD. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think every baker that has gone through something like this, and the pizza place, remember the pizza shop had that as well. They had death threats. They had to close. Remember the pizza shop had to close down. I mean, it's ridiculous. And when you saw this, when you saw that one video where they went in and asked the Muslim baker, would you make me a gay wedding, a cake for my gay wedding? Muslim's like, no, go across the street. Nobody did anything with that. Finally a good judge. Gay activists set them up. Well, exactly, Cully. And again, with Kennedy, it's kind of crapshoot because Kennedy is a very pro-gay rights justice, and it could have been anything. You can deny service to anyone. No, Chezzy, you really can't. Not on, let's say you just don't want to serve black people. No, you cannot do that. Hey, Jerry, that's something that I'm trying to think of the restaurant now that got in trouble for doing something like that years and years ago. You're not allowed to discriminate against people. Yeah, Louder with Crowder did that on his show. That's right, Donna. Thank you. But Denny's, I think it was Denny's who wanted not to serve black people. You can't do that. You can say, I don't want to serve you because you're being loud, you're being obnoxious, you're throwing things. That's different than saying, I don't want to serve you because you are, Hispanic, African American, Asian, or whatever. Yeah, I know, Jerry. Close 7-2 is close. Yeah, right. Real close. Unbelievable that they would say that. Hey, Jules, good morning. But I think it's a good ruling. I think it's a fair ruling. I think it's good for Christians that their religious beliefs are being upheld by the court finally. When it seemed absolutely not seemed, it was under Obama, all the religious freedoms were fading away. Fox said it was close too. So stupid. Who were the two? Ginsburg and Kennedy wrote the majority opinion. It was Ginsburg and Sotomayor that were against it. Would a Muslim baker make me a bacon cake? Wayne, I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. But they could say we don't have bacon in any ingredients and we're not going to do that. But I know you were just joking, but I understand. So, I mean, I again, it was a fair decision. Now, there was another breaking Supreme Court decision, probably one that people aren't really looking at that closely right now. But remember the illegal immigrant that was here, or a Hindu making hamburgers? There you go. It they can just say we don't have that on the menu, so they don't have to serve you. A Supreme Court sided with Trump and wiped out a lower court ruling that said that the migrant teen had a right to an abortion. Jules, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the baker in Colorado, saying that he did not have to make a cake for the same-sex marriage couple. We don't have gay wedding cakes on our menu. So what that did, that other one where you have the immigrant with the right to an abortion, what they're saying is President Trump has had that wiped out, so that way there's no court precedent. So somebody can't say, oh, but the lower court said we could have it, therefore it's court precedent, therefore this teen is required, you're required to give her an abortion. Wedding cakes are an artistic specialty, yes. Jules, I would say that any cake coming from a bakery is okay. Judy is saying that Fox clarified it was not close. Thank you, Judy. So Chezzy, I think that Judy is saying Fox did not say that. So what they're saying is that person now, as the illegal immigrant, there's no court precedent now, even a lower court decision, because President Trump asked that the Supreme Court wipe that ruling out, which means you're basically starting over. Right now, each case is going to be looked at individually, and the Supreme Court, from what I understand, is going to go on and decide. That teen did have the abortion, though. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And so it's all over with, and it doesn't matter. That's moot as far as that is concerned. But what would happen if you didn't wipe out that lower court decision? Somebody else coming up and say tomorrow would say, look, there's precedent. You have to give this teen an abortion. And that is not true. As the way it stands now, there is no ruling that says that you're required to have an abortion if you're an illegal immigrant. Hey, Keith, good morning. How are you? Good news for the baker in Colorado. We had, just to give you a wrap, I know you missed the first part there. So, in New York last summer, oh, wow. Yes, the next will not be able, right. Make the immigrant pay for it. Yeah, right. That would mean that you and I would be paying for it, JDH. So, no, thank you. Well, let's just make sure that right now that it stands the way it is, that there's no lower court precedent. It's every case by case right now until the Supreme Court hears it. I'm well, and how are you today? I'm doing okay, Keith. I'm tired. With the new puppy and trying to make sure everything is all right with all the other dogs. I've lost sleep. My husband's lost sleep. And this weekend was especially bad with us getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Things are starting to settle down, which is good. But hey, good morning, Robin. Will Colorado now reimburse Baker for a prior $170,000 they charged him? Jerry, he's going to have to sue the Colorado Civil Rights Commission. Do you crate train? Jules, right now, this dog, because she was a stray for a while, she would freak out if you put her in a crate. Cash Daddy Tim says, I have 2 new puppies I know what you mean. I know, I have 3 dogs now. Tim, the one dog that I got recently, she was on a kill list to be killed on last week. I couldn't let it happen. I went and got her, and I'm trying very hard to get her to assimilate with the rest of the family. She does pretty well so far. Clicker treats and lots of patience. Brandon, I think lots of patience is an underestimate. It's going to take a lot. I had 5 Jacks. Oh my goodness, Donna. And Jack Russells are so hyperactive. Gracie's pretty hyperactive in a lot of things too. Daniel said funny. Gracie is a blessing. She is a blessing, Carmen. Oh no, that's wonderful. You saved her. I know, Tim. she was a dog that was sitting in the back of a kennel just shaking, anxiety ridden. It was horrific to see. For those of you, if you want to go to my timeline, you'll see what I posted today. It's pinned to the top. It's just a little couple of seconds of a video. It's probably like 30 seconds of Gracie playing around, so you can see the difference in how she's acting now. So, but I mean, I have to have some sleep, so we're trying our best. And I had a place where I was letting her sleep, but now she's insisting on sleeping in the bed with the rest of us. So she's doing pretty well with that. I need a fake rabbit toy on a stick on a merry-go-round so Gracie gets tired out. I know. I do. I have Instagram, Jules, and you'll see both my accounts. I think I forget what it is. If you want to instant message me, I can tell you, or whatever, DM me, I can tell you what that Instagram is. I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is Stand for Truth Radio, but that's mostly what I just do to put, political stuff on. And the other one is like Susan Knowles. It's a personal one. That's how you picked your last dog. Wow. I'm so happy Gracie's in a good home. I watched the video. It was so cute. It's like having a new baby. I remember the days of no sleep with babies and puppies. I know, Robin. And see, like for you, you were a lot younger. Like for me, I'm a lot older now, right? And it's so difficult. Hey, Alan. When you get older, now you know why people have kids at such a young age. Because when you get older, my God, you can't deal with it. Good morning, my lovely Sue. How's my girl doing? Hey, Jessette. She's doing well. She's sleeping right now down on the floor in a beanbag chair with a blanket. So she's resting now so that she can stay up all night. Just kidding. Have you talked about the In God We Trust court case? All I know, Brett, no, I haven't, but all I know is we are allowed to keep In God We Trust on our currency. The 2 I got are Chihuahuas. They weigh 1 pound, 2 ounces each. Oh my goodness, those are teacups, Tim. Yeah, I have 2 other rescues, an Italian Greyhound Terrier Chihuahua mix, and a Chug Chihuahua Pug. And so I'm glad my Fifi is sleeping more these days instead of running from me in the backyard, Carmen said. Yeah, I know, some days. I babysat my grandson for 4 hours and I was done. Oh, Judy, yeah, that's, woo. I one time thought I was going to do a good thing. Here's another one of those things where I thought I was going to do a good thing. And I babysat this baby, okay? It was an actual baby. And I didn't know this, but the mother never put the baby down, really. Like, she just would always hold that baby. So I was taking care of the baby until she went out and did some Christmas shopping one time. So I had the baby for probably, 4 to 6 hours. And every time I would try to set that kid down, she would cry. And I'll tell you, I have so much appreciation for mothers, and I was glad that I didn't have this. I mean, I felt I was totally chained to that baby, and that baby was chained to me, and I was about to lose my mind. It was just more than I could handle. That was too much. Whew. But it was better than the alternative of hearing that baby cry nonstop. So, you make do. Let's see. In other news, other important news, Saudi Arabia is now issuing driver's license for women. So I believe, I'm not sure about this, but I believe that you still have to go out and have a man with you. It's called attachment patenting, where you wear your baby. It's called crazy, Jules. It's 3 grandsons, 7 and 3. Oh my gosh. Wow. Parenting. My baby sat my sister's kids so glad when they got home. I know, Cully. I mean, geez. If you're going to babysit kids, make sure you're around 30 years or younger. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself through hell. I mean, you really are. I love the kids that are, like say 2, 3, but still, my God, chasing that age around the house for hours? No way. Yeah, that's great for women. Steps forward. I know, JDH, but how much big steps are that, right? Yeah, I know. Baby attached to the hip, cray. I know, Carmen. It was, I don't know why she did that. I really don't, but it wasn't my child, so that was my opinion, not hers, I'm sure. Hey, Gary, good morning. I wanted to talk to you, too, the Better Behave with Grammy. I know, Donna, but still, kids like to run, and they're active, and it's hard. Tower at Flight 93 Memorial is going to open just before 9/11. That's great, Brandon. Should have opened years ago. I had my last two children at 37 and 38. I did fine. Wow, Robin. I don't know how you did it, but congratulations. I think I would have been exhausted at that age. But I'm definitely exhausted at my age now. I wanted to talk to you about the video that I put out, and I want you guys, if you will, to just keep praying for the veterans on patrol. Yeah, Danielle, we talked about that at the very beginning of the scope. I just let them go, no helicopter parent here. Good for you, Donna. The veterans on patrol right now, in case that you didn't see my video, and again, if you didn't see the Periscope video, go back and look at it. They came upon a hideous encampment that appears to be child sex trafficking going on in Tucson, Arizona, near the border. There are trees with, I don't know what you would call these, but kind of like loops hanging from the tree that you put your hands through to restrain you. Now I see, okay, there you go, Brian Huffman. Hey, Brian, how are you? Yeah, I don't know why you can't see me on Periscope, but sorry you can't. This news hurts myself. Jules, it was, it just hideous. I've tried to put some videos up. They're making them on YouTube. I've tried to put some links on my timeline. The encampment it was covered over with cushions and everything on top of it, kind of with a netting on top of it, so that you wouldn't know that there was anything there. Hey, good morning, Jennifer. You wouldn't know that there was anything there. And that you could go underground, and there was, you could see the rape trees, like I was saying, with the restraints. And the rape trees had restraints up above for an adult, and down below, it obviously appears for a child. They had basically sections where they had little vanities set up where the kids could see themselves. They had tin metal set up so they could do what they were doing and not be noticed behind that. It was very sick. They found blonde hair in combs underneath there. They found it where they were also looking like they were very demonic, Brandon. Very demonic. Hey, Sherry. I know, Judy. Put your hands over your ears if you can't listen to this right now, because it is disgusting. They found areas where they were going to extend what they had. I guess the encampment was going so well, they were extending it. I know, Robin, the video is very sick. Now, I don't know what's happened since last night, other than the fact that the leader of the VOP has climbed a tower. He's holed up there. They've taken you saw hair dye too. Yeah, NCAA. They found that too in pornography. Death penalties in order. Brandon, if they ever catch these people. But he's holed up in a tower. As far as I know, they said in the video that they were taking the evidence and moving it out of there to another base. What I don't understand, and I'm not there, so I'm not going to judge the police department or DHS or anybody. But I do too, Donna. That's why I say please pray. I don't know why the police or the DHS, somebody wasn't there gathering evidence. It seemed like, hey, Sherry, more like they wanted to quickly get rid of the evidence, they being whoever was supposed to be there and wasn't. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I saw that apparently the police came and surrounded the place and put up cones, and they weren't going to let anybody in. But VOP went to the side and they prayed. The leader especially is very much belief in God, that praying is what you need to do in order to, be helped by God. And he went to the side as soon as they prayed. Hey, Bet, good morning. As soon as they prayed, he said that the police took everything down and immediately left. So I don't understand it either. Robin said she's praying. Yeah, I just don't get it. And if you, like Sheriff Napier, 2 got arrested that was guarding the gate. Yeah, 2 got arrested. And I think what they wanted to do, they wanted to arrest Lewis, probably. And Lewis went up the Lewis went down to talk to them, but I guess he wouldn't go out where they wanted. They wanted him, I think, to step off the property. When was this discovered? Friday by any chance? Judy, it was sometime last week. I thought it was more like Tuesday or something like that. Tucson, Arizona, if you look it up online, they actually they ran a news story on it. They went out to where that's at. They went around with Lewis and the VOP, and they went and looked at everything in there. I think some people are trying to make light of the situation, like, oh, well, this was just an encampment. You would have, yeah, and it's on patch.com, Brandon, right. You would have to be a total fool if you don't think that, from what I saw and what I've been hearing, if you don't think that is a child sex camp place, I don't know. Do they have witnesses of what? There's the news crew went through and taped and filmed everything. And I guess what they're wanting to do with the evidence, what I understand that VOP is doing, they're taking that evidence to give it to DHS so that DHS will, I don't know, look for DNA. I don't know that DHS is going to do that. I mean, I just don't see them doing that. Now, here's the thing. Children are missing. Children from foster care are missing. If you ever do any research on foster care kids, there's a ton of them that are missing. I think in some instances, upwards of several thousand are missing at one time. Yeah, I don't think so either, Alexis. And I'm, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not there, so the way that VOP is handling it or whatever, they do some things that I wouldn't do. I would not move evidence myself. I wouldn't do any of that. However, they want to ensure that evidence is not destroyed. So I get that. I really do get it. Law enforcement is where that goes, and FBI. Well, and Alexis, the police were called out there. Hey, how are you? One vet said there may be remains there. They were digging and had to stop because the smell was so bad. That's right. Is it Stephanie? And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I can barely see those little things. Stefan. Very sad. And again, if that's a possible murder scene, why is the police not there? You would think that area would be swarming with law enforcement investigating. Lori, exactly. Who trusts the FBI anymore? Carmen said. See, that's what I'm saying. Hey, C-Do for Jesus. Good, thank you. You're welcome. Trump 2020 and beyond. Yeah, well, if you want to keep things being unveiled, we must protect our children. I can't even imagine what these children are going through. It breaks my heart. Sickening people in this world, Robin said. Yes, Robin, we live in a very sick world. Sad to say, Josette said. And that's just the thing. I don't get it. Again, if this is a crime scene of any kind, especially if there are, that you're smelling what you think are dead bodies, there's an obligation by the police, at the very least, to get out there and find out what's going on. I don't know what the police are thinking. Is that against the law to move it? I don't know, Brian. I mean, I don't think so, because there's no crime scene, right? I mean, because the police are aware of it. The news has already videotaped it. Nobody has taken control of the area. So they're, as far as I know, again, I'm not there, but as far as I know, there are no laws in place. There are no court orders. The Arizona suspect linked to shooting deaths of 4 people was found dead. That's breaking news right now that just came up. FBI because of possibilities of interstate. I mean, again, the least that you could do is take a cadaver dog out there and find out if anybody is actually dead and buried there. The only way that VOP found this place is what they've said in their video, is that they saw solar lights around the interstate there. It's Interstate 19 and Valencia Road or something like that. And that's how they found it. And they found like cell phones and new phones, and they were like digging a new place. And again, if you think that this is only happening in Tucson, Arizona, and I know you don't think that, but that's crazy to think that it's not happening in our own backyard. The Mexican cartels do this everywhere. Yes, they do. Get that person and block them. That's disgusting. We don't want that or the followers in here. Please block that person. Disgusting, racist talk. We're not going to have that in here. Yeah, Donna, I mean, it's happening in every state. It's not just at the border. When you allow the cartel, the MS-13 in here, and you think that they're somehow, they're not animals, only, let me just say that they're less than animals. How about that? Because basically animals don't do that type of thing. So if you're less than an animal and you're evil and demonic, this is what you do. So I just think that animals are better, much better, Donna. Animals wouldn't do that. So I hope they find them. Now, what the plan was and what they were saying on VOP tape, that they're trying to find those people, find the cartel, and push them back down to the border. So the forensic physiologists, 4 of them dead suddenly in Scottsdale. Canada, was that Alexis? I'm sorry. Canada's very corrupted in human rights violations, Ben said. Well, Ben, I think that the United States, that there's so much corruption in that area going on in the United States, and people have not wanted to look at it, and it's a huge trade. It's a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. If you guys could, for some reason, we've already gotten past the halfway mark. If you wouldn't mind retweeting this, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, thank you. If you would, look at that video that I did over the weekend, get this out. I've been putting a lot of stuff that VOP, some of their videos on the on my timeline. If you see that, if you're not following me on the timeline, maybe consider doing that if you would on my Twitter timeline. Now I do post a lot. You're going to get a lot of notifications, and I'm sorry about that. And it may be, some of the reasons that you want to unfollow me. But I'm putting a lot of stuff there, important stuff that I think you need to hear. I typically don't put BS stuff on my timeline. I put stuff that I think that you ought to know about. So anyway, I'll try to continue put it there. If I get updates from VOP, I'll put it there to let you know kind of what's going on with them. In other news, this is sort of how our society, in some areas of society, you're welcome, Alexis, areas of society are going, how depraved some of this is turning. There's a congressional candidate in Virginia. I think he's running on an independent ticket. He's 37 years old. He's an accountant. His name is, it doesn't matter, but if you want to know, I can tell you. But anyway, he admitted to Huffington Post to being a pedophile. He is bragging about, they claim that he has bragged about raping his ex-wife. So this guy feels that, well, I'm the perfect candidate because I'm not like everybody else. Since when do you allow an admitted pedophile to be on a ticket somewhere? Hey, how are you, Reese Witherspoon? Or Witherspoon, how are you? But I think that's pretty disgusting and sick. I can't imagine, well, I don't want to imagine anybody in Virginia voting for him. But I can't say that it won't happen either. So, but I think that, just watch out for something like that. Again, that's a congressional candidate in Virginia. It is sick. And he's an admitted pedophile. He thinks that that's perfectly fine. So, oh my gosh, things keep getting worse. He should be in jail. Well, Robin, I guess he hasn't admitted to a crime other than raping his deceased ex-wife. Now, in my opinion, just my opinion, and I don't know about Virginia law, I think when you admit to raping someone, even though they're dead, I think you should be arrested, charged, and prosecuted. That's just me. I don't know what Virginia law is. I don't know why no one has acted upon that, if those allegations are true. But I don't know. I mean, but I don't know, Jerry, if he did it while she was dead or did it before she died. I don't know what he was talking about. And to be honest with you, it's so disgusting. I don't even want to go further and research the guy. Hey, Daniel, you'll want to go back and listen to this, this Periscope. We talked about a lot of stuff. I know, Brandon. My question would be, why is she dead? I don't know, Judy. Could have been natural causes. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something they ought to look into, too. Yes, this is horrible. Anyone that would vote for him is sick. Absolutely. He's backed by Terry McAuliffe. Yep, exactly. He's running for Congress in Virginia, Alexis. You remember before when Democrats didn't want to tell you that they were socialists, and then all of a sudden they didn't care anymore that you knew that they were socialists, and they started telling you, "Hey, I'm a socialist." That's great. Before it was very taboo. Glad I don't live. I know in Virginia, Jimmy said, just like that congressman who said if a woman is being raped, she should just sit back and enjoy it. That was, oh my gosh, that was a long time ago. Guy from North Carolina. Can't remember who that was. I can't remember the name. That guy, that was pretty sick. I don't know. No, I don't think it was Sanders. This was like during like gosh, right after the civil rights era. It was a North Carolina guy. Gosh, I can't remember his name. I think that was a lot had to do with his being senile, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's really what he believed. Lots of Americans have died fighting against socialism. Yep. Sounds like a John Edwards statement. No, it wasn't him. Governor Brown signed a bill, 55 gallons of water a day. For what? What are you talking about, BC? 55 gallons of water a day. What is that? Or 50? What does that mean? That each household can only have 55 gallons of water? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, BC, I don't, that's crazy. When did he sign that? Because I haven't heard that one. How are those white roads in California? I haven't seen any yet, Brandon. Thank you, Obama. Open the communist closet. Yes, 55 a day, Donna said. That's crazy. The guy's nuts. The guy, oh my God. Don't get me started. I'm so mad. Hey, good morning, Rhonda. He's going to be out. Oh, I will, BC. He's going to be out soon. But we have, like I said, a chance of getting a governor that is even worse and more far left than Brown. He is, wow, that is gross. Where is the media on this? And they labeled POTUS as one. Now you have anyone silenced just as said, yep. I need to download Periscope again. Okay. Is it Witherspoon? The Blaze had on this morning. Are you talking about, Donna, what Jerry Brown did in the 55 gallons? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, see what's going to happen in California again. I watched it. Any new from Tunnels Found yesterday? Nothing new that I know of yet. Year 2020. Oh, indoors? That's just crazy. 55 gallons. Was it a day? Is that what you're saying? Is it a day? Or with Jerry Brown, it could be a week. I want to get more information on that. Here's some news from California, though. It's just going to make your day. It shows you how crazy. I think I heard that 55 gallons on Glenn Beck per day. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, BC. Here's some California crazy news. And again, don't be surprised if it comes your way. Brown set these laws before he retires. I know, Donna. And before he decides what happens at the elections. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much we use, but I'll tell you what, people in California, for the most part, unless you are absolutely just rich and like to waste, and no offense to the rich, but we are very conservative in California by nature. We conserve on heat, we conserve on everything. Indoor pool, yeah, Brandon, that wouldn't be good. I mean, my grass right now in the back is dead because I don't water my lawn as much as I should to keep that grass green. I've given up on it, and I don't want to waste the water on it. So my husband and I more than take up and do well for 3 people on the block. Rock gardens. Yep. Saw your scope from yesterday about the kids. What's the update on that? I'm sorry you're late. You may want to go back and watch the scope again. I don't have anything from today just yet, but I am going to continue to put stuff on the timeline on Twitter. So you may want to follow me. As a warning, I do give put a lot of stuff out there, so you may get a lot of notifications. The new indoor water standard, 55 per day. I missed that. You're allowed to collect rain barrels. They haven't told us yet that we can't. So, so far, you can do it on 55 gallons a day. Wayne, I know I don't use even close to 55 gallons a day. What about for businesses? Businesses seem to always be exempt, Brandon. What was so amazing in Central California, They did a video 3 hours ago. Update, all is secure. Good, Keith. So they have all the evidence now over someplace else. And what about Lewis? Is he still in the tower? When they were telling us we had water shortage, everybody except agriculture and all those businesses, they could do whatever they wanted to. We had to conserve. I drove through Salinas one day. That's next to Monterey, and that's where okay, thanks, Keith. That's where all of the, agriculture comes from for the most part, a lot of it. And at 11 o'clock during the day, they were watering things and letting things drip off. Bill Clinton interview where he got mad at the reporter asking about Me Too. No, I didn't see it, Junior. I heard that he felt that he had no reason to apologize to Monica Lewinsky, I know it's late, but our local news is not covering that child sex trade, something fishy. Daniel, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Shower uses 16 gallons. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, California is just crazy what they do. They waste more water on the agriculture that basically let the water just run off. The water was being wasted. It was being put out there at the wrong time of day. How much water does an illegal use in California? Well, Ernest, that's okay. They can use as much as they want. It's only for people who live in California who pay taxes that have to concern themselves with that. So, if you're illegal, oh my gosh, have at it. California is at your fingertips. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, here's another thing that happened in California. A California farmer was charged with 12 felonies after trying to register his guns. They wanted everybody in California to kind of like register their guns. I don't know if he moved into the state, if he had guns before a long time ago, and he wanted to register them. This was in Bakersfield. He owns a business there. After he tried to register online, he was trying to register an AR-15. They came in, seized all of his weapons, and said the weapon was illegally modified and not in compliance with recent laws. They seized 2 silencers, 230 rounds of ammo, and 12 firearms. California law changes the law about guns almost like every other day. For a lot of people, they wouldn't even know whether or not they were in compliance. So these officers watering their lawns in the middle of the winter, 30 to 20 degrees outside. I know, Keith, it's crazy. They waste a lot of water by doing that. So the guy went trying to do the right thing. Are people using that state-of-the-art irrigation system developed by Israel? Don't think so, Daniel. And as far as somebody said you guys need to vote, red, 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 here's the problem. And I saw it again over the weekend. Yeah, Wayne, but California having 1 round is, oh my God. But 230 is like, oh my God, on steroids. People were over the weekend. This one woman is having a video saying, people are trying to tell me that I should vote for John Cox and I want Travis Allen. I'm so sick of people telling me that, if you don't get behind Cox, then we're going to lose as Republicans. I want to vote for the better person. I want to vote for John Cox, for Travis Allen. As I've said before, Republicans, you can go out, you can vote for anybody that you want to vote for, but if you don't vote for the person who's in the number 2 position, which happens to be John Cox right now, you can be all, high and mighty and nar-do-well and oh my gosh, I'm going to vote my conscience, and you know what's going to happen? You're going to have 0, okay, look at this, 0 Republicans on the June election ballot. So, it's great to have a candidate that you love. It's great to say, I want to get behind him. Now, as long as they're not baby killers and murderers and rapists and pedophiles, then you need to go out and try to get a Republican. You may not be your number 1 choice, but you need to try to get a Republican on the ballot. If you don't, you're going to have 2 Democrats running for governor, and you're going to have that feel-good feeling that, oh my gosh, I love Travis Allen, but he's not on there. Then you can just say, okay, I screwed up, because that's what's going to happen. It is the lesser of 2 evils, Brandon. And like I said, now if John Cox were a pedophile, pro-abortion, some of those things that I just can't vote for, okay, then I'm not going to vote for him or anybody else. I might, throw my vote to Travis Allen in that case. But I don't find any of that with John Cox. So what I'm going to do, I'm voting for John Cox because right now he's in the number 2 slot. And he is the only chance. It is the lesser of two evils, may be still evil, Keith. But what's worse than that, if you're a Republican, is getting a Democrat in who is worse than evil. Okay, so I mean, take your poison. If you know by not voting for John Cox that you're bound to get a Democrat governor, what does that say? What does that say about the person who did that? So I mean, it's just. But you're not going to find a candidate that agrees with everything that you agree with. There is nobody out there. There's nobody that's perfect. But the thing that you can do is, number one, don't vote for a criminal. Number two, don't vote for somebody who's pro-abortion. Don't, things that are just so anti-biblical, you wouldn't vote for those people. You just wouldn't. There's nothing in the record about that for John Cox. There's not. Rhonda said, must vote for GOP nominees who are most likely to win against the DNC. That's right. Prayers for California elections. We need them, Robin. The only thing that we can hope that's going to happen in California is that the Democrats are going to, screw each other over because there's so many Democrats on the ballot. But, I mean, it's a hard call. It really is. And I don't know if Travis Allen is any better than John Cox personally. Right now, what I do know is that Travis Allen has a lawsuit filed against him for ethics violations for using campaign money inappropriately. So, I mean, okay, that guy allegedly may have broken the ethics laws. So does that mean that John Cox is not better than him, or that Travis Allen is better than John Cox, who may not have broken any laws, allegedly? I mean, it's a crapshoot. These people are not perfect. They're politicians. If I could vote for somebody other than a politician, I would. Oh, but that's not reality. That's not realistic. I have to stay in reality and do what I can do to protect this state. And we're probably going to lose. I mean, I hate to say that, but what's happening also in California right now is that those people who were Republican, guess what's happening to them? They're moving over and becoming independents, which says to me they've given up on the Republicans and they're moving closer. I think it's more moving in the middle as an independent. And I'm sorry, but in California, as well as any place else right now, I understand you wanting to be an independent. However, it's not realistic again to vote for an independent. Our independent is probably not going to win. California has too many people leaving and not staying to change it. Keith, I've been here for a very long time, and I'll tell you, some days I want to leave too. Because when you see it tipping over the way it is and going down the sewer by the Democrat leadership, you want to get out of it. God said these days would happen. And they're happening, Carmen. They're happening. Voter ID would resolve most DNC candidates. Never going to happen with voter ID, Robin, as you know. Hey, Teresa, I understand I left New York for that reason. I know, Keith. It's getting worse and worse by the day. And the left will use the illegals in the midterms that would never play fair. Yeah. I mean, the way that the Democrats got the fact, I registered independent when I was 18. I've stayed that way ever since, and I'm not sorry. Yep. Julie, you have to do what is best for you. But in California, it's tipping over too. I know, Wayne. Conservatives are a vanishing breed. They are, Deanne. They are. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem. I think they said, let me see if I can find the numbers. I don't know if I'm going to have the numbers. Yeah, I don't know how many exactly. Oh, but there's a ton. Let's see. In some other news, let's get this into. Let's see. House Republican has doubled the numbers of female candidates that they have recruited to run for Congress. There are 103 Republican females, which is up from 48 in previous elections, and that is not an accident. It is intentional. The Republicans are saying that they want to show that they're a party. Democrats are always saying it's war on women. You don't like women. So the Republicans are trying to say we put women in. We're not anti-women. My thing is, are we ever going to be just pro qualifications? When you're independent, you can request a ballot for either D or R. You don't have to just vote independent. True, Julia. Movie life, party line. Yes, SCOTUS showed respect for moral right. Yep. I was an independent. I switched to Republican, Robin said. Doesn't matter as long as you can get the job done. Yep. Hey, hello. Whoever said hello. When the conservatives are gone, who's going to pay the bills and everyone's welfare? I don't know, Carmen. There was a firefighter who was fired for conservative comments, which is ridiculous, Lynn. I didn't see that, but that's ridiculous. Let's see. Tom Arnold said that Roseanne Barr is obviously racist, and he warned everybody. In other news, I switched there. So I guess Tom Arnold has to come out against Roseanne now that he's not married to her. When signed in as independent, no political phone calls. Wow, that might be nice, BC. Hey, Kim, good morning. I don't think I said hello to you. I didn't see you. Yeah, what a weasel. I know, what a weasel. Like, Tom, just go on with your life. You know, she's your ex-wife for a reason, whatever that reason is, but you did marry her. Tom needs to take his meds. Correct, Judy. Carmen says she has a finger for Tom. Let's see. I don't have really time to talk about it today, but if you didn't get my article this morning at SusanKnowles.com, please do. It's worth the read, and it's about the most recent Mueller leak. He needed to shut his mouth trap. I know, Kim. Tom Arnold, 16 minutes. Yep. Tom Arnold is a washed-up cokehead, Golly said. Tom Arnold is a loser, Rhonda said. I mean, does anybody even know what Tom Arnold has been doing in the last year? I mean, is he working? I don't know what he does. I don't want to know what he does. I never thought he was funny. So, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, no clue. I know. Podcast. Tim. I'm in trouble with California broken pipe on pool refilled twice, 65,000 gallons this month. Holy cow. Holy cow. How much did that cost you? Woo. That's amazing. Construction has begun on the San Diego border wall. They're putting in 14 miles of way over the limit set by Brown. Yeah. 14 miles with anti-climbing plates in it. Wayne, I tell you, you're going to get a huge bill. Tom Arnold is Charlie Sheen's big buddy. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Only liberal media would care about Tom's opinion. Exactly, Rhonda. Yeah, he's on assignment to find Trump elevator tapes. So proud of our wall, Lynn said, and humanity sinks to a new low. Why with the wall, Deanne? You think humanity sinks to a new low? You would like to open up the border. Why? So the MS-13 cartel can come in and set up shop? I mean, what? You need a border wall. What's anti-climbing? It's hard to get a grip, I guess, Judy. You know, like if you try to put your feet on it, your hands on it, you don't get much traction on it. You know, if you ever wondered why, yeah, it's slick. If you ever wondered why you need a border wall, I don't know, Judy. I don't know the technology used. You know, just watch those tapes from VOP and know what's going on down there at the border. Had there been border walls that were set up, those people wouldn't have come in and done anything. And God only knows now where they are. If they're no longer in Tucson, where did they go? Bet Jesus wouldn't be a fan of the wall. Jesus didn't tell people not to protect themselves. Jesus didn't say don't defend yourself. Jesus said you can defend yourself. I mean, read the Bible. How many times were people allowed to defend themselves? Scottsdale, Arizona serial killer committed suicide. Yep, Lynn. If you had a front door with a lock, then you understand border wall. There you go, Rhonda. Yeah, why does former President Obama have a whole gate, fence, and everything else around his house? If we don't need walls, why does anybody have estates with all of these big walls and guards at the front gate? It's not what he didn't say, it's what he did say. And what did he say? No border walls, Deanne? Come on. The Vatican has a wall. I mean, Jesus said, protect yourself. Don't debate Bible with Susan. Beck said, I got a really long garden hose and hooked to your house. Yeah, please. I hope not. The Vatican's got walls all around, doesn't it? Yep. Reagan didn't like walls. Well, Reagan also screwed up. Let me just tell you. I loved Ronald Reagan. I thought until President Trump he was the best president ever. But unfortunately, with his amnesty, he really made the situation in California really bad. We used to, in San Diego, was absolutely a red county, and now it is a total blue county. His amnesty brought illegals in here and took away Republicans right out of California. And he admitted he screwed up. Country's not a country unless it protects its borders. Absolutely, Blue. That will divide. Let's see. When did Jesus say protect yourself? Turn the other cheek. Oh my gosh, come on. Read the Bible. And how many times? So when people are warring on you or people come into your encampment, you're just supposed to go, okay, whatever. Come on in. Jesus didn't say that. Put on the armor, full armor of God. Yep. Yeah. Why would you put on the full armor of God if you don't need protection, Brandon? I mean, to say that that Christ said don't protect yourself. I mean, come on. That just I don't know where you get that. Anyway, Jesus Christ is the protector from the devil. Yeah. Holy Spirit. Yep. That's blue eyes. That's true. How is Trump the best president ever and he has not finished a term yet? Oh, so the requirement is you have to finish a term? If you squeeze the Bible hard enough, it will tell you anything you want to know. Okay, great. I would rather read the Bible than squeeze it, but, maybe to each his own. They can do whatever they want. Don't try to reason with liberals, waste of time. True, Rhonda. Very true. Okay, so let's see. There was an erupting volcano in Guatemala. There were 25 people killed. So when the MS-13 wants to rape your daughter, you're supposed to say it's okay, not. I know, Kim. Right, exactly. Come on in, do whatever you want. Johnson is a troll. Yep. I figured. The first clue I got was no profile picture. In my opinion, a wall will never keep bad people out. Tim, it won't keep them out, but it might slow them down. I thought Bush 43 destroyed the country. Well, then what did you think about 44? 44 did more damage to this country, caused more chaos, more division than any president I've ever seen. I thought Jimmy Carter was the worst president ever until 44 came along. So, okay. I don't know if you've seen the video of Guatemala and that volcano erupting. If you haven't seen it, you need to. I don't have time to tell you all the horrible things that Obama did. We would be on here for about, 1,000 hours a day telling you all the bad things that Obama did. I mean, think of something that he did do right, and we could probably wrap that up in about 2 seconds. Bible tells us to sell what we have and buy a sword and gun. We are told to protect ourselves. I know, Robin. I know. I don't know why people... It's foolishness to think that you're not supposed to protect yourself. It's ridiculous. I know. I think so too, Cully. Don't feed the trolls. Either ignore or block. Yeah. Let's see. Some other information. I don't know if you know this, but Saturday was International Whores Day. I can't believe that there's a holiday on that. They promote rights of sex workers, and I thought maybe this was something new, and honestly it wasn't. It turns out that it wasn't. It turns out that this holiday has been around 43 years and originated in France, and they celebrate it in Oakland, New York City, Chicago, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Hey, Tom. Hey, Wanda. And so I just didn't know that there was a holiday. I know Robin said, oh, dear Lord, I never heard of that. And who knew it was called International Whores Day? I thought it was a bad thing to call people whores, but apparently not, that they have their own holiday. All blue states. And thank God, so far, International Whores Day is not a national holiday. So, I mean... Good Lord. And it's funny about the things that you hear now that you never heard about. This has been around for 43 years. I've never heard in my 43 years anything about this holiday. And now all of a sudden it's a holiday that everybody's talking about. Oh, I thought you said horse. No, I wish I had. Teresa, that would make more sense. That must have been an Obama law. Actually, Junior, you would think so, but no, it was 43 years ago. Yep, a lot of basement dwellers coming in, but that's okay. See what happens. I think the person a while ago who invited them in, that disgusting name of the profile name, probably invited them in. But it's all right. They only help my numbers. Clearly, the liberals have chosen their favorite holiday. Yep, a Carter law. You know, Junior could have been. Could have been. Maybe it was a Clinton law. There you go, Cully. Clinton probably, made sure that that was a holiday. All right, you guys, the hour is up. Thank you so much for being here. Continued prayers for the VOP, for what's going on there in Tucson, Arizona, and elsewhere as far as alleged child sex trafficking. I'll see you guys later on. I thank you so much for being here. God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, guys. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks so much. I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless.